doubles and coffee on a rainy morning on the way back to Trinidad from Tobago. The PNM have lost the plot. The Attorney General Limo comes to call the shortest, most ridiculous press conference in history after Kamla Prasad Bisesa once again caught this PNM with their heartlessness, their wickedness and their greed to attack the savings of pensioners, of old people, of the elderly. Limo came to you to say that the cabinet note that was approved by the cabinet of the PNM had a clause in it that was put in by a public servant, got through the cabinet, and it was an error. The bill was laid in Parliament and he's going to withdraw it, extricate that clause, and then relay it into Parliament. How does a bill or piece of legislation reach the Parliament? First of all, it has to be a concept or an idea in the mind of a minister who takes it to cabinet in its original form, presents an argument and a policy to the cabinet. The cabinet discusses it based on historical factors, the benefits, the constitution, and then it's approved. Once that is approved, it goes to the Office of the Attorney General, and the Office of the Attorney General, that holds an immense amount of legal luminaries, intelligent lawyers and so on, begins the process of drafting the bill. There are many meetings to discuss what's the purpose, what are the clauses, what impacts does it have on other pieces of legislation, week after week, year after year, meeting after meeting. Then finally, a draft bill will come up. The Attorney General would vet it, read it, create a cabinet note giving the historical perspective on this law, the need for it, the bill, why it is there, and send that cabinet note to cabinet. These cabinet notes will go to each and every minister on the Tuesday before the Thursday meeting of cabinet, so that every minister could take their time and read it, vet it, and be ready for discussion. Cabinet meeting is called and it's discussed to its fullest. If it's approved, it's moved forward. And then the next Thursday at the cabinet meeting, you get a brown folder with pink pieces of paper in it saying, hey, last week, you, the cabinet, agreed to this. What say you? Do you confirm that you want to do this? Are you sure that you want to do this? Confirmed. Then the Prime Minister, the chairman of the cabinet, signs that pink piece of paper, sending it back to the cabinet secretariat for action. That note signed by the Prime Minister then goes to the Ministry of the Office of the Attorney General, where the staff, the permanent secretary and so on, put everything in place and finalize and fine-tune the bill or the new piece of legislation, and then has it laid. The Attorney General, who's in charge of the legislative agenda, has it laid in Parliament. It's a long, painstaking process. So Limo come to tell you, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, that throughout this whole process, some ghost clause that's going to torture and pain and attack elderly, just like all the other PNM policies that attack not only the elderly, but bring pain and suffering on the whole nation, that just got in there by mistake. It was never the intention. The mere process of a cabinet note and the legislative process means that something cannot reach the floor of the Parliament without it being intentional. There is no fluke in Parliament. The process doesn't allow for such. The amount of people, the amount of ministers, the amount of policy makers who have to read it, vet it, and pass it, it could only be laid in Parliament if that is in your heart, in your soul, in your mind, and what you want to do. Furthermore, the Minister of Social Development the day before come out and defending. Don't talk rubbish. This is what we have to do, and this pension is just for the poor. Then you have other people who just have a tabanka because their person didn't get any votes really in the UNC internal election, talking about, oh, the pension is a grant and so on. If you know anything about the UNC's policy is that pension should not be a grant, that pension should be a right. The PNM likes it to be a grant because a grant can be taken away. Something that is a right, something that belongs to the people, something that must be done, cannot just be taken away willy-nilly. So the PNM's policy since Patrick Manning was to make it a grant. So at any time they want to suffer people, they could take it away. That is the PNM's DNA. The PNM has been caught. Kamala Persad-Bissessar now once again has caught the PNM and showed the population what the PNM is about. To take away all the resources from all the people, from the elderly, from the young, from the women, from the men, from the hospital, from sport, from culture, and put it into a discretionary fund where the PNM could recuse themselves, take decisions, and the rich get richer. That is the PNM. So don't come lie more and lie to the population about it was never intended and it somehow got in there. What you feel it is? A fly coming in into a bakery and sitting on a cake? It don't happen like that. This is legislation. This is the parliament. The PNM has been caught with their pants down again. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody who would like to get their pension, just like how Rowley raised his, and his pension 1/3 of 87, that's what he's going to get from now till the day he dead, because he's going to get voted out. But he pension fixed. He back pay fix. Rowley fix himself. And you, the people of Trinidad and Tobago, he want to take from you to fix himself. He want to tax you, property tax, to fix himself. That is the PNM. So when you're voting, vote for yourself. Don't vote for PNM. What PNM do for all you? All this race talk, all this nonsense. Vote for yourself. Vote for your families. Vote for resources to be directed to you. Vote UNC. Bless.